The Mughal Gardens inside the Rashtrapati Bhavan have been renamed as Amrit Udyan. The announcement came as India marked its 74th Republic Day, celebrating 75 years of independence. Instead of welcoming the move, many leaders from the Congress and other opposition parties have taken slight digs in an attempt to score political points. Congress leader Rashid Alvi called the move a sign of narrow-mindedness. TMC MP Jawahar Sarkar trivialized it by asking if Mughalai Paratha will be renamed next, and many of their supporters have followed suit. But the rationale behind the move is to remove the last vestiges of slavery embedded in India's power structures, and it has picked up pace ever since Prime Minister Modi came to power. The road leading to the official residence and principal workplace of the Prime Minister of India was earlier called the Racecourse Road. It was renamed as Lok Kalyan Marg in September 2016. The iconic Rajpath, meaning the King's Way in Hindi, which was named after King George V during the British era, has been renamed as Kartavya Path or the Path of Duty. The St. George's Cross in the Indian Navy's flag has been dropped. A new ensign with a blue octagon encompassing the national emblem atop an anchor with the Sanskrit verse Shamno Varunaha written has been adopted. The octagonal shape draws inspiration from the seal of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, who established a formidable navy to protect the country from external aggressors. The empty canopy at Delhi's India Gate, which earlier had the statue of King George V, will have a grand life-size statue of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. 3 islands in Andaman named after British officials have been renamed. For 7 decades, these 2 islands in India had the name of British army men who had fought for the East India Company in the 1857 War of Independence. And 21 unnamed islands of the Andaman and Nicobar have been named after Paramveer Chakra heroes. In 2015, the road named after Mughal tyrant Aurangzeb was renamed to Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Road. Similarly, in the same year, the Wheeler Island off the coast of Odisha, named after an English lieutenant, was renamed after the renowned scientist and former Indian president. Abide With Me, a Christian hymn penned and composed by the British, has been part of the beating retreat ceremony of India's annual Republic Day celebrations since 1950. This is a song that was played at the wedding of Queen Elizabeth II and was also played by musicians as the Titanic went down. This has now been replaced with "Ae Mere Watan Ke Logo", which commemorates Indian soldiers who died in the 1962 war against China. In 2019, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman scripted history by doing away with the budget briefcase and opting a Bahi Khata to carry the budget papers. Adapting to the changing times, paperless budget is being presented through a Made in India tablet since 2021 by the Finance Minister. The centre has repealed around 1500 old and obsolete laws, most of which were remnants of the British era. For example, there was a colonial era law that considered kites as aircrafts, and one needed to obtain a permit as required for an aeroplane. There was even a law that penalized industries if they did not whitewash their toilets every 6 months. All these British era laws have been done away with. It has been 7 decades since India attained independence. Yet, remnants of the colonial past and symbols of slavery have hung on to the Indian realm, sidelining our own history and heritage. By removing such symbols of slavery, India is not just establishing its true identity, but is also waking up Indians from their colonial hangover.